Carpet caster when hunting up in North Texas. I've got a beaver out there in shallow water, standing on the bottom. And that's going to be confirmed as a dead beaver. Got the curly shuffle going on, so that is exactly what we like to see when we're hunting beaver. Lineup on the shot looked absolutely perfect. This little one came in too close, so close in fact that it's inside the focal range of my scope, and so it's blurry. It's probably only out there at about 10 or 12 yards at this point. And I'm going to let it go ahead and swim on out until it's a little bit more in focus than it was, and then hopefully I can make a better shot on it at distance where I've got it in focus. Took the shot just as it turned. I thought it looked good, but I don't see any curly shuffle from the beaver. No sign of the beaver at all. And so this is going to be unconfirmed. The lineup on the shot looked good just as the beaver was turning, but no body. The third beaver came in on a similar line as the second beaver. Swing by a little too close for me. I'm going to let him gain some distance. Now when possible, shooting them coming towards you or going away is a little bit better because you have more of a body to line up on in order to shoot. So these sideways headshots are a lot more iffy than taking a lengthwise body shot. So I'm going to wait for this one to turn. Perfect. That looked like a really good shot, especially when you look at the splatter coming up out of the water. But I did not notice it at the time. And while he's probably going through a curly shuffle right here, his head appears to be slightly above water. So I'll give it a quality assurance shot just to make sure that it's dead. And still not seeing what I want to see. I take the safety off. I'm going to go ahead and shoot it one last time. There we go. So that's the second confirmed beaver down. Moving on to the next property, Carpe Sus. Got some hogs in what's left of a winter wheat field. And I've gotten to a fence where I can't go any farther. If I try going over the fence or under the fence, I'm going to make too much noise for these hogs that just aren't all that far away. So here I'm waiting just to see what they're going to do, to see if they're going to move towards me or move away from me. It would actually work out better if they would move away and let me get into the field with them. But that isn't happening. And so I've identified what I think is the largest sow there. Here I'm going to be using my Tumble Upon Impact ammunition from Fort Scott. Alright, here we go. Neither the sow goes down or the hog behind it. The second shot might have connected, but I think it probably missed. And I'm unable to land the third and fourth shots on that runner. And it looks like too much lead on that one, and I come away with no hogs. The opening shot looked really good. I don't know why this hog isn't down. I searched the field, but no dead hog. Moving forward, nothing much has happened in the last 10 days. I'm now on a different property. The sun's going down, and I've got a crested caracara there on the fence. I've never seen one of these before in Montague County. I've heard people mention them, but this is my first. However, I'm here early because I have a new toy, a Steiner Nighthunter S35. It's a 640 resolution thermal weapon sight that I'm going to be testing out this evening. Carpicanus, it is just before sundown and I'm watching coyotes out in the pastures at various distances. This one's out there at 545 yards. Now, something interesting to note, the recorded version of the video does not include the colors of the crosshairs or show the picture-in-picture aspect that this unit has. So the crosshairs always look white despite the fact that I'm actually using red crosshairs. Now there's another coyote way out there at 730 yards. Looks like it's about a single pixel dot on the view screen. You may actually have to blow up this image in order to see that coyote. The cows are about 545 yards. And I've got another coyote coming in from the left-hand side, and it's going to join up pretty close to the original coyote I spotted. In the meantime, there's a house out there at about 1,400 yards, just to give you an idea of some of the capabilities of the scope. And there are the two coyotes. For tonight, I'm not using this as a rifle scope, however. It is mounted on a tripod, and I'm using it as a spotting scope, and also to record this hunt. I've got a coyote coming in from some distance away. I've been watching it for a while. It's in the opposite direction of the other coyotes that you've seen. And just to give you some idea of what's going on in this image, we've got some cattle out there at about 1,200 to 1,400 yards that are not in danger. Then I've got a tank that's at about 400 yards, and I've got the coyote between us and the tank. Now those cattle aren't in any danger because I'm up on a hill actually shooting downhill at this coyote. And the cattle in the distance are actually about 20 feet in elevation higher than I am. So let's say for a moment that I was hunting cattle at that distance starting at 1,200 yards. I would need about 63 feet of additional elevation held above the cattle in order for my shot to make it there. I don't think with me shooting downhill towards a coyote that a ricochet off the ground has any chance of going that far. The bolt's going to be destabilized. It's probably going to be deformed to a certain extent after hitting the ground, and it's just not going to travel far enough in order to be able to come in contact with the cattle at all. Watch what happens here. The coyote is hit. Then I notice the power going off in my scope. That's the alarm system from the recorder letting me know that there is no signal from the scope. I'm going through reattaching all the cables, making sure everything's connected properly, getting power back on, and all the while this coyote isn't running. The power's come back up in the scope. Got it turned on, get zoomed in, and I've still got a target. And I hit it a second time.
Brass catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
You know, ricochets always sound bad, but when you can hear the noise of the ricochet, that means that it is out of balance. It is bleeding off energy, bleeding off velocity, and distance. Sounds like at least 4 of those shots connected, and they kind of made a mess of the coyote. However, for the tumble upon impact bullets to work their best, they need enough medium to pass through in order to tumble, and I don't think that they're finding that with coyotes. The coyotes are just going to be too small. So I didn't review my video before going out looking for this coyote. I knew it was somewhere behind one of these tufts of grass, and I can't find it. And what I don't realize is that it's actually hidden inside of a tuft of grass, and I've walked by it multiple times now. Go back and I reviewed the video, figure out where it is, and here it is hidden in the tuft of grass. And I think that's going to be my last hunt with the tumble upon impact ammunition from Fort Scott Munitions. I just don't think it's working out for me. I will discuss it in some detail in Carpe Analysis to Trauma Diaries number 56. Carpe sus, my friends.